Hey guys, welcome back to Tracker Films. I owe you an apology. I built an entire mud mower without making a single video about it for you guys, and I'm sorry about that. I definitely should have recorded it because I could have had like a lot of content on my channel because I've done a ton of things to this mower since I got it. But today I'm just showing you swapping the transaxle because mine exploded. Yeah, actually, since last time I've uploaded on this channel, I've had two transaxles explode. The one in the Craftsman mower went out a couple days ago, and it tanked. I mean, it went out hard. That thing's boom. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this rolled back in the shed because I only rolled it out of the shed for the shot, and I'm going to swap this one out because this one has also grenaded. It said goodbye. Nice. So, I'm gonna walk you through a couple things that I've done to this mower before we actually get to the transaxle swap, just because there's a lot of things that I've had to do to it since I got it out the junkyard. Overall, I've spent just under $200 on it so far. That's including purchasing the mower. I got it for 20 bucks at a scrapyard, and it actually came with these tires. So these are some ATV tires, and they have tubes in them, which is really great. That means they'll last longer. Because if you look close, you can actually see where it's already starting to crack, and the tire itself might or might not have started leaking by now if it wasn't for having a tube on the inside. So that's the first thing that I looked at whenever I bought this thing. I was like, well, 20 bucks and it comes with both of these tires. I mean, they're just about worth that a piece. So I took it. Now, when I first got this mower, the engine in it was actually locked up. But I fixed that. Took a breaker bar. I took the grate and the engine cover off. Took a breaker bar to the top. Snapped it so it would, you know, unfreeze. Because it had been sitting for a couple years up there. So, obviously, it did not want to move. Now, this thing still has the original spark plug in it. I never even had to change it. I probably should, but I never even cleaned it. I did have to put an air filter on it because it didn't come with one. And I've got a brand new carburetor on it. I got off of eBay for like 15 bucks, which ain't bad. Because the old one was, I'll just show you a picture on screen as to why I did not bother fixing that. Yeah, that just was not worth it. But, new carburetor, decently clean, used air filter. I did have to change the coil that goes to the motor right here because the old one was like cut and it was really crappy. Got a new fuel line in it because the old one was made of, well, actually, this is part of the old one right here. It's that weird hard rubber, or that hard plastic. But, so I put a regular, more modern fuel line in it with a cutoff, just in case the carburetor ever starts leaking. I got a brand new fuel filter in it, and I wired it completely from scratch, because when I bought this mower, there was no wiring in it whatsoever. That took me a minute to do. I know it looks crappy and kind of jank, but I organized it as best I could. So, this is all custom work on my end. Yeah. It took a lot of trial and error to figure out what went where, but I got there eventually. Now, as for the things that I added to this mower, well, most obviously, I've got an air horn on it. I can thank my buddy Austin for that. He gave this to me for helping him fix his lawnmower up, and it's loud. Like, it's really loud. I can honk back at a car and win if I want to. Hold on, let me just, this is gonna hurt my ears. So, that's my horn, and the way I rigged that up, I just decided to bolt it down, so I did all this by eye. I haven't measured anything. There's an electric motor. It's mounted under the hood. I put it so it'll fit right in here when the hood is closed. and drilled some holes for the air lines to run up through to the horns right there, and had to custom cut some tubing for it, and had to heat it up with a lighter like constantly so I could get it flexible enough to bend and actually put over some things. As for the wiring, I just have, well, it's mostly just loose, but I've got it running between the electric motor all the way down through here. And here's where I had to do some custom stuff. I had to get some like little clamps from my Craftsman mowers out back that are just for scrap. And I used those to hold the wires in place, like right here and right here. So the horn was pretty simple to rig up. All I had to do was connect a ground and a hot. Now, this is a 3-position push switch. So you've got down and obviously you've got up. I didn't want to use that, but these are the only 2 switches I had laying around that I wouldn't have had to pay for, so that was free. These are probably my favorite feature on this mower, but I'll wait till night to show you that shot. Now, the only problem with those right now is, well, I've got only one headlight in the front, and you'll see why in a minute. First time I rigged all this wiring up, it worked for like probably 3 or 4 days, but something I didn't realize at the time when I had my lights and my wiring installed was, this is an older Briggs motor with a muffler like kind of comes out the side. So guess what was touching my muffler? My headlight wires! So yeah, that's a really tight space to work in because Murray hoods, the older ones, only flip up from the top. So this entire grill is fixed in place, which means I can't work on this crap unless I take the grill off or the motor off. So I'm gonna take the motor off to fix that, just so I can get in there easier. It's not that hard to take the motor off. All you gotta do is just connect the fuel line, the throttle cable, the starter wire, 4 bolts on the bottom, throw the drive belt off, and you're good to go. You can take this whole motor out and just set it next to the mower. So that's just about all the custom stuff I've done to the mower since I've gotten it. Obviously this does nothing. That used to engage the blades. So, yep, brand new lights, air horn, and of course, it's been pulley swapped. Now, it doesn't go very fast right now, unless you're going downhill, because it's only got an 11-horse motor on it, you know. It doesn't have a ton of torque or horsepower, but it's got enough to get you where you need to go. I will say, though, it's not very good going up hills, because not only is it pulley swapped and it has a small motor, you know, those 2 things combined aren't very good, because I no longer have low gearing. Like, my lowest gear is now what would have been this mower's highest gear, and it doesn't like climbing hills. Like, it stalls very easily. So I intend to put a flat twin on it, or a V-twin on it, some kind of twin motor, but I need a bigger one. You know, that's obvious. So I figured I'd go ahead and fix up the original one just temporarily, and heck, that's a good spare motor if anything happens to the other lawnmowers around here, you know? But enough of me yapping and whatnot. What?
You see a dog down there?
Oh! Sorry about the sudden cut in the video. The neighbor's dog got out. I had to help her get her dog back. But as I was saying, enough of me yapping. We'll get to the transaxle swap already. Alright, so the first thing I got to do to get this out of here is I have to take these bolts out on each side. Right there and right there. And normally you would have another bolt up under here that would hold the transaxle in, but this transaxle had a snapped off bolt in it from the start, so it's never actually been bolted up here, which has caused the frame where it's held on, where I showed you a minute ago, to get bent a little bit. But nothing a little bit of metal work can't fix. I can get that bent back. So 2 bolts, one on this side, one on this side. Usually another one right there, but in this case, we can't use that one. And you have to disconnect your brake spring, which is really weird. Murray's had brake springs. It's usually like a solid metal rod. And the shift lever, after that, you just got to take the drive belt off of it and it'll come right out. Figured I'd give you guys some close-up of the steps before I actually start filming, because you won't be able to see most of what I'm doing in this time lapse. I'm just gonna hang it by the shed with some tow straps so I ain't gotta have a jack under it in my way the whole time. One down, 3 more to go. Here we go. Alright, now that I've got all 4 of these out, I got to take that little ball off the shift lever on the top. And like I said, disconnect the brake spring that runs back to the transaxle. Get the drive belt off. You just got to pop it off of the drive pulley. Which reminds me, there's one more custom thing I forgot to show you guys before I took this off. Normally, the transaxle pulley would be like out here. So the belt would serpentine around here and then go back to the front. But because I have like a 1-inch pulley back there now, that wouldn't work. And well, yeah, I mean, that's the best I can explain it really. By putting an extra pulley right here, it made the serpentine go from back here to up here. Because right now, if I didn't have this in here, it would just be a straight shot from the back all the way to the engine, and you never want to straight belt a lawnmower that's a manual. Hydrostats, maybe, because, you know, those don't move unless you push on a pedal, but straight belting manual transaxles never ends well. That's probably why the last one in this exploded, because I tried it for like a week maybe, and God, my gears, they hated me so bad. So, this is the original transaxle. This was only a 4-speed, but the gears in that are all messed up. And apparently, whenever I traded this one in for a Craftsman rear end, this transaxle was on its way out too. So, here I am, second time having to swap the transaxle in this. What a day. But yeah, I forgot to show you guys, crap, I forgot I blocked the microphone. I forgot to show you guys that before I finished taking this off, because it'd be hard to recognize what belt pattern it was without that transaxle pulley being in there. Oh crap, I probably have to do it in front. Here we go. Okay, now I got it out. Whew. And there it is. Transaxle's out the back. Whew. As you can see, the pulley on the back is indeed very tiny, which is optimal for top speed and terrible for low gearing. Which means you can't go through mud as much, but, you know. Oh my God, do y'all hear that? Hold on, listen to this. That's in gear. Look at this. So that'd be reverse right there. Oh, something's crunchy. You know what? I bet I know what it is, because coming off this shaft, there's a bevel gear. There's one gear that looks like a little cone, and there's another gear that goes on the side of it. I bet that little cone gear is what's completely destroyed. The rest of what's in here might be fine, actually. I wonder if I could just take apart my old Transaxle, because I know the gear in that one's still good right there, and just fix this one. I'm just going to get a better rear end. I'm not going to bother trying to mess with these two old ones just to end up blowing it up anyways. So, yep, that's what the underside of the mower looks like. You can also see where I wired up the tail lights under here. After I wired them up, I made sure to wrap a bunch of electrical tape around them just to make sure mud and crap didn't get all over the wires. I mean, they're exposed just a little bit right here, but that's because I couldn't fit the electrical tape around and up in there to get it. But for the most part, they're mud proof. You can also see right here where the tension spring's been worn by the pulley, because well, that's not the pulley that rear end originally had, because normally the big pulley would be spinning way out here away from the spring, but this little one kept grinding away just a little bit right there. It wasn't enough to cause alarm though. It just makes a little scratching noise whenever you push on the clutch. So I never did put the spring in a different position, and I didn't worry about I just didn't worry about it. I mean, obviously it wore away a little bit of the metal, but nowhere near enough to actually cause that spring to snap in half. So it's just part of this mower's character at this point. Yep. That's Scarlette. Oh, wait a minute. I don't know if I've told y'all its name yet. Yeah, I call this Scarlette because it's red. Even if it's not Scarlet Red, I like the name. You know, I've got Billy Bob out there, so I figured Scarlette, you know, we might add a female to the mower population. Diversity. Alright, I'm gonna get the rims taken off of this axle, and I guess I'll have to wait till tomorrow to go get another one, because the junkyard that's got Murray Transaxles in it is already closed today. Well, it's not a junkyard, it's a mower shop, but they have a junkyard out back. So, yep, I guess that's what I'll do. These are freaking huge tires, though. Oh my God. Come on. See, look at this. Washer. I don't know if that spacer's gonna come off. Hold on. What the heck? What is that? Whoa. What the heck? Yeah, okay, so here's the spacer. You know, it's normal. What the heck? Some kind of copper bushing was like stuck in it. And it's been ripped apart. I've never seen that before. It's weird. Well, on to the other side. Oh. It's that little clip right there. Axle key. See how easy that one slid off? The other one should have been like that. So these are all the small bits and pieces that go to taking a transaxle off on an old Murray. These are basically the same pieces you'd find on, you know, like most conventional ride mowers like Craftsman and whatnot. At least most older ones. I'm not familiar with any kind of new ride mower. I don't even know what the word new is anymore. God. I like old stuff. Used to keep all my tools in the toolbox on the side of Billy Bob, you know, the other mower. Because from now on, I'm probably just going to refer to my mower by their names. Am I a normal person? Does anybody else name their vehicles like lawnmowers? Am I crazy? I might be crazy. What am I doing with my life? Wow, I'm naming my lawnmowers. Well, anyways, that's all for today. Gonna take the old one, throw it right with the older one. Oh, let's see. I also need to get a new drive belt. This one's been worn out because I neglected to align the drive pulleys properly. So, I'm gonna need one of those soon. I gotta stop saying so much. Like, oh my god, it's so annoying. I did it again! Alright. Well, I guess I'm just gonna leave her hanging. I'm so sorry. Alright, well, I'll see you guys probably in like, I don't know, a day. Anyways, I will see y'all in the next video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of stuff. Bye!